Hello Aquarius, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is your weekly tarot forecast. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And that way you won't miss any of the weekly tarot readings that we do for your sign on this channel, all right? So, what is it that Aquarius needs to know? What is on your mind? What is the message coming through for Aquarius? First card today is that Eight of Cups. All right, well, you know this, let's not jump to conclusions, okay? This may not be so bad. Let's lay out the rest of our Dove and Serpent spread, and this, of course, is going to include our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're not going to reveal that until the very end, so stick around till the end of the video, and hopefully that will tie the reading together or give us the confirmation that we're looking for at the very end, okay? So let me just straighten up some of this stuff here. See some good major arcana cards. We see some earth, some water, some air, a little bit of fire. It seems like a nice balance. It seems to me that there is some issue involving this, maybe an older air sign person. Maybe they have a feminine energy about them, but I feel like they're an air sign person, or they have a kind of a very opinionated attitude. Right? They're very outspoken. They may be just a little bit loud and a little bit, boisterous, especially when it comes to something that they're passionate about, something that they care very deeply for. They tend to get pretty loud and really outgoing, right? Really enthusiastic about their interests and their opinions, right? And I think that you have some sort of relationship with this person. I don't know that it is a romantic one so much as it is like a domestic situation, maybe someone you live with, someone that's tied up with your finances or with your living situation. Could be a work thing. But I see that this is somebody a little bit closer to you. And considering the fact that we have this Eight of Cups with this person also, I'm feeling like maybe there was at some point some romantic feelings between the two of you, but I don't get that feeling now. I think with this Eight of Cups, it's kind of like that potential has washed away a little bit. Like maybe there was some of those feelings, there was this potential, there was this idea of, maybe this could be something more. But I feel like something is going on that has kind of drained that feeling from you a little bit. And with this Eight of Cups, that kind of love, that kind of romantic feeling, that desire and attraction, I think it was there, but by the looks of this card, that is kind of on its way out, or it's draining from the situation, right? And again, I think it involves this, maybe an older person, maybe a feminine energy, but they've got this air quality about them. They've got this kind of air sign quality. They may not be a sun sign air, a sun air sign, but there's some air somewhere in their chart, and it's expressed as, like I said, this opinionated, this very outspoken, almost to the point where they get a little forceful with their opinions sometimes. Is that ringing a bell for you? Because I'm getting this feeling like when they really believe in something, they just start getting louder and talking faster and just a little bit more forceful with that belief because they're so enthusiastic about their beliefs, their opinions, and their interests, right? But I think that's who is involved in this situation. And again, with this Eight of Cups, there may have been a potential there for some romance or some kind of a deeper bond, but I don't see that that's happening now. And I think we're going to go to this recent past card. This is the Four of Discs, Four of Pentacles, as it's called. This is in the recent past. So I'm thinking that with this person, whoever, now why don't we just put this person right over here so we can keep that in mind, because that's really who this situation is involving. That's who we're kind of talking about in relation to your life, your circumstances, your situation. I feel with this Four of Discs that it's something this person is in some way involved in your finances or your living situation. Now it could be a coworker, it could be. And either way, if this is a coworker, maybe someone you live with, maybe it's a close friend, or maybe it is, like a domestic partner kind of situation. or like a roommate situation is really what I'm feeling. They're in some way tied up with your finances, with your stability, with your home, with your livelihood, right? So this could work as a coworker or in terms of your domestic situation. But I feel like this is a situation where there was this possibility of some romance, there was a possibility of something more to the relationship, but it started with this almost business kind of situation, right? It's almost like the two of you decided to move in together just to help each other out with the finances or to share the bills, or, I'm getting that kind of a feeling, especially with the Four of Discs. This is just kind of like getting your basic needs met in terms of your safety, your security, stability, getting the bills paid, getting the rent paid, making the house payment, the insurance, whatever it is, right? I feel like it was that kind of a business relationship to begin with. And then there were these possibilities of romance, right? It started to lead in that direction, but I don't think that it's really there anymore. I think that feeling, that possibility is starting to kind of drain out of this situation. And why that may be, I see a couple of reasons why. The first, let's go to this card here. This is the World or the Universe card. This is at the top of the Path of the Dove. And I think what this is signifying is, like I said, one of the reasons why this romantic possibility is not so there anymore. That's because it's been delayed. It's like it's kind of been lingering. That tension was there, but nobody really made a move. Nobody really took action or acted on those feelings. So the fact that it's just kind of been stalled, delayed, things haven't been moving, and so it's starting to kind of fizzle out. That feeling of romance, that feeling of possible love connection is starting to drain from the situation. We're getting this Eight of Cups feeling where there's a little bit of a lack of interest now. There was some, now it's kind of waning. It's on its way out. And I think because the situation just never really went anywhere, right? Nobody made the first move. Nobody took action. You were both kind of waiting for something to happen, and it hasn't yet, and now that feeling is just it's blowing over a little bit, right? And that's the feeling that I'm getting with this World card, this Universe card, is that things were there. There was that tension, that possibility, but it was delayed. It was drawn out for so long that you're kind of getting over it now. Maybe the both of you are kind of getting over that feeling a little bit. And also, I think this is going on. I think this is part of the reason why you're both kind of getting over this feeling. And this could be a couple different possibilities. I'm getting this feeling like maybe there is somebody else involved. Maybe there's this water sign person that's also kind of involved here. Now, maybe this is someone that you are also interested in, or someone that this person over here is interested in. And this could be why the relationship didn't go anywhere between the two of you. Because there's this third person involved that maybe is taking a little bit of the interest away. You know what I mean? There could be another person here that kind of caught your attention, is pulling, or this person, right? But more than this being another person, I think this is really related to this person that we're talking about, this air sign person, and their inability to really decide how they feel, or to really be honest with their feelings about things, right? They're kind of like back and forth. One minute they really seem interested, the next minute maybe they really don't. So I think it's been a little confusing. I think you've been having a difficult time really figuring out what this person's all about. Not that they're playing games or being manipulative, but they're just not being very clear with how they feel. And I think this has been going on for a while. I think this is also related to this kind of delay, this stagnation, this stalling out of these feelings. I think it's because you can't really get a read on this person. You don't really know what they're truly feeling. And I think it's to the point now where you're just like, you know what, I'm over it. I don't even don't even care to find out now, because it's just been dragged out for so long. And if this person is unable to assess how they feel, or they're unable to express that, or they keep going back and forth, mixed signals, on again, off again, kind of hot and cold, I think you're starting to be a little bit tired of that. And I think that's why the central focus really is this Eight of Cups, saying, look, this feeling that you had, that you once had, it's starting to wane. It's really starting to drain out of the situation. Now, in the immediate future, there's this Five of Swords, and I think that this really is kind of just taking the loss on this one. Just accepting that this probably wasn't meant to be, that just because this isn't working out doesn't mean that you don't deserve it, that you did anything wrong. It just basically means, hey, it didn't work out, it wasn't in the cards, so to speak. It wasn't there. It didn't happen. It didn't work out. So it's kind of just taking the loss on this and just saying, hey, you know what? There was the potential there. I'm not feeling it anymore. The other person's not feeling it anymore. Let's just move on. But the real question is now what to do with this original situation. If the two of you have your livelihood or your finances or your work life or something, connected and kind of mixed up together, what are you going to do with that? How are you going to sort through that? And I think that's kind of where we're at. By the end of the week, really, you're going to start to think, okay, this romance didn't go anywhere, but now what do we do? Do we keep things as they were? Do you try to kind of disentangle your finances or your work life or your domestic life from each other? Do you try to go your separate ways? I think the first step really is to admit that this romance isn't panning out anymore, right? This isn't so intense of a feeling anymore. The attraction, the desire is kind of, it's draining out, right? Like I keep saying. And so then the idea is what to do with what's left, the relationship that's still there. This entanglement of your finances or your work life, your domestic situation. Okay, so with the Five of Swords, it's really about now intellectually trying to use your logic and reason and come up with a plan of what to do. Should you stay the way things were with this Four of Discs, because things were pretty good, pretty stable, you had that kind of security, and it seemed fair, it seemed like it was working. Now we're getting over this hump of this, this potential romance that I don't think is going anywhere. Now you're at this Five of Swords stage, trying to figure out what to do next. Do we go back to the Four of Discs, or do we move forward and try to separate the things that are still intertwined? Okay. So with that, let's go over to the Path of the Serpent and see if we can get a little bit more of an idea of what is going on with you, what some of your more subjective feelings and energies are like. Right away, we see this Art or Temperance card, and this is on your mind right now. This is in the position of your ego, your general energy, your overall vibe right now, right? And with this Art or Temperance card, I really feel like you're focused on finding that right match for you. You're really focused on having this Four of Discs situation, right? You really want this security and safety and this, this balance of the finances and the domestic life. You want that whole thing to be as amazing as possible, right? Like that's a huge benefit to any kind of relationship, is to be able to share the finances, to both be contributing, right? To make it a wonderful partnership in that way. But then the other side of that is the romance, is the passion, is the attraction, the love, the desire, right? That emotional connection and bond. And I think there was the potential there in this situation with this person. We'll put that person back over there. That was a potential. That was something that was on your mind. If this would be that wonderful, like, blending and that perfect match between you and that person, but I don't think it is. And we already talked about why it may not be, kind of what happened there. And, it didn't have that spark. It didn't have that fire, because really we see some air, some water, some earth in the path of the dove, right? But there was no fire there. There was no real spark to get things going, right? There was no initiative. There was no initial rush of passion, okay? But that's still something that's on your mind, and that's kind of what you wanted. You have the more kind of mundane, domestic, routine half of it. But then there's that passionate desire, love, lust, attraction kind of side of it, right? And that's not there in this situation. But that's something that you've had on your mind a lot, and that's something that you really feel strongly about, I think. And then the next card that we come to is the Star card. And this is your card. This card rules Aquarius. This card is all about you. And this is in the position of your relationships. How do you relate to other people? And I think this is a card that really, really tells me how strong of an intuition you have. This tells me really how strong your gut feelings can be. And I think that when you meet someone, when you interact with someone, even for the first time, I think you have a really intense feeling about them. I think you know almost instantly what kind of person they are, what they're all about, what they want, and what your relationship with them will be or could be. I think you have a really strong connection, like a direct line to your intuition, to your kind of your higher mind, right? To your spirit, or to your guardian angels, your spirit guides. I think you have a very strong connection there. And I think that you're able to instantly read people and situations and your relationships with people and with situations. So I think initially you saw that there was potential with this person here. But just because you have that vibe with someone doesn't mean it's going to pan out that way, right? Because there's still that free will, that choice that is involved. And for whatever reason, they were unclear with how they felt. They were unclear with their emotions and their desires and what they really wanted. And so that didn't pan out. But I think you still have this really strong vibe about people. And going into the future, I think this is really going to be your key. This is really going to be what's going to further you along this path. And I think the path of the serpent is a really good trajectory of energy, right? And with that, the next card that we see is this Nine of Wands. This is strength. This is inner conviction. This is being true to what you feel. This is your head and your heart connected as one, right? And the life that you lead, the things that you do, the choices that you make, right? The things that you go after consciously in your life are things that really reflect who you are, what your desires are, what your will is, what your heart is all about. And I think this really has a lot to do with this kind of divine intuition that you have. This real connection with yourself, with your desires, with your heart. Your head and your heart just are connected in such a way that you always feel like you're doing what's best for you, that you're really on the path of fulfilling your own desires, your own destiny, right? And I think, I don't know what's going to happen with this situation. I don't know how you're going to deal with this Four of Discs and this Five of Swords. If it's going to be something that you're going to have to really just kind of disentangle yourself from, go on your own way, go in your own direction, and kind of cut ties with this person, or if it's something where the two of you can just go back to the way things were, right? But the important thing is that if you listen to your kind of inner voice, you'll know the right answer. You'll know what you need to do. And you'll have the strength and the conviction to go out and do that. Whatever it is that you decide to do, it's going to be the right choice, and you're going to be confident and strong and powerful in that choice, right? And then finally, what we lead to with that choice, right, because I think that there is a choice that you have to make, which is basically, what are you going to do with this situation? Right? Which way are you going to go? But you're going to make the right choice because of this strong connection that you have to your intuition, to the connection between your head and your heart. And that's going to lead to this Princess of Discs. And this is just wonderful abundance and success and fulfillment and satisfaction in every way. So this is really telling me that, you're going to make the right decision in this situation, this path of the dove, the situation that you're in this week. You're going to make the right decision, and you're going to further your efforts to get this fulfillment, to get this satisfaction, to get this abundance in your life, right? And the fact that we see all of these major arcana cards over here on the path of the serpent, the star, the art or temperance card, this is telling me that really you have like this divine guidance. You really have got like this unseen hand that's kind of guiding you along. And these are really strong cards, right? And especially with the art card telling me that you want this perfect match and perfect harmony, right? You know exactly what you want in life. And you know what that's going to look like. You know how that's going to feel. You know how that's going to come together. And with the star and with this Nine of Wands, you're not going to put up with anything that isn't the perfect match, right? You're not going to settle for less. You're not going to settle for something like maybe was going on over here. Somebody was unclear. Somebody wasn't sure how they feel, kind of wishy-washy. No. You're not going to put up with that. And you're going to make the choice now to move on, to find your perfect match, right? To build the harmony in your life that you're looking for. And it's going to be just wonderful success, abundance, fulfillment, satisfaction in every way. The Princess of Discs is not just domestic material success, right? It's not just on the physical plane with, your finances, your fitness, your health and your living situation. It's that, yeah. But it's also finding that abundance, finding that love, finding that attraction on the emotional plane, on the intellectual plane, and the spiritual plane, because you're doing what's right for yourself. You're fulfilling your own destiny. You're not settling for anything less. And it's going to be something that satisfies you on every level of your being. And that is what you're aiming for. That's what your goal is. And that's where you're headed. And you're not going to settle for anything less. You know what that perfect kind of match, that harmony really looks like. And you're going to go out and you're going to find that. So let's now look over at this mystery card. This bonus card, this confirmation card. I kind of think it'll be an Empress card. I think that will be, a really, reaffirming card. It'll be a really great way to just say you're on your path towards this complete fulfillment, right? And that's kind of where you're going to get there, at some point, regardless, because you have all of these wonderful qualities working for you. This situation over here had the potential, sure. I don't think it's going to pan out that way. But let's see what this card could be. This could be maybe some more fire energy. That would be a good card to see. Interesting that this is a court card. I wasn't expecting a court card here. This is the Prince of Cups. I think this is perhaps an emblem of who you're going to meet in the future, right? Perhaps this is a sign really of who you're looking for, right? I think this is someone about the same age as you. This is someone who, maybe they're a water sign. It could be. But I think more than that, this is someone who knows how they feel, is so confident in what they want and how they feel. There's no second guessing. There's no question. There's no hot and cold. There's no on and off. This person knows how they feel and acts on it and does not hesitate, doesn't waver, doesn't, flip-flop, doesn't send mixed signals. This person is very strong in their convictions with how they feel. They're very much in tune with their emotions, and they're acting on them. It's someone very assertive, very emotionally available, emotionally confident and active, and willing to take risks, willing to take the initiative with things. Someone who's very bold, right? When they feel strongly about something, they're just very bold. And I think this is kind of, I think anyway, that this is the person that you're looking for. And I think that to get this as the confirmation card is just kind of telling me that, hey, look, this person over here was a little too unsure of their feelings, a little bit too, I don't want to say weak, but just a little bit too timid maybe with expressing themselves, or to really be honest with themselves even about how they feel and what they want, right? And I don't think this is the person you're looking for. I think this card is saying, look, you have this kind of ideal in mind of what you want, what kind of person you're looking for. And I think you should not compromise. I think you need to keep this in mind. Keep this type of person. I don't think this is anyone that you know right now. It could be someone that you've already met, sure. But I think this is just being held up as the ideal. This is the person you're looking for. And if somebody doesn't meet your standards, like I don't think this person does, then just politely move on. I think that's the confirmation we're getting here today. All right. So Aquarius, we're going to take a look in the extended, if we can get a little more information, a little bit more energy coming through for you. If you want to become a member of this channel, you can click on the link down in the description box. I also am offering private readings. All of the information is down in the description box, so take a look. This was your weekly tarot forecast on Dove and Serpent Tarot.